The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, show number 735. Welcome to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, helping you celebrate Celtic culture through music. I am Mark Gunn. I am a Celtic musician and also host of Pub Songs and Stories. Every story has a song. Every episode is a toast to Celtic and folk songwriters. Discover the stories behind the songs from the heart of the Celtic pub scene. This podcast is for fans of all kinds of Celtic music. We're here to build a diverse Celtic community and help the incredible artists who so generously share their music with you. If you hear music you love, please email the artists, let them know you heard them on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Musicians depend on your generosity to release new music, so please find a way to support them. Buy a CD, album, pen, shirt, digital download, or join their community on Patreon. You can find a link to all the artists in the show notes along with show times when you visit our website at CelticMusicPodcast.com. Or email follow@bestcelticmusic.net to subscribe to the podcast, and I will send you a free music-only episode. And if you're in a Celtic band, you will also learn how to get your music played on the show. Again, follow at bestcelticmusic.net. Follow our Kickstarter pre-launch page. I set up a new one for our Kickstarter in January. Once again, this will be for funding a best of 2025 compilation CD or album pen or even shirt. Follow the link in the show notes so you can be the first to get a copy of our next compilation. Only 100 CDs and 100 album pens will be made, so follow the page soon. We kicked off the show with Gerry O'Connor. That was O'Connor 4 Reels from his album Last Night's Joy. Next up is Eloise and company with Janet's Angel Rocks from Avec, Elodie.
it says everything takes time. But in the distance, someone further up ahead. Is there a fast way to get there that maybe I could find? 'Cause I'm looking for those golden secrets. Leg up the ladder, I don't know. There's just got to be an easier way to get there without the bother. I don't know. I just need those golden secrets, that's all. Everything takes time, but in the distance, knocking at a different door. Do they know something I don't know that maybe I should try? 'Cause I'm looking for those golden secrets. Click up the ladder, I don't know. There's just got to be an easier way to get there without the bother. I don't know. I just need those golden secrets, that's all. To die, flash in the pan, silver bullet, never got the chance to fly. Can't go over, can't go under, guess I've got to go through. Secrets are not so secret after all. They're in all the songs and stories, that's all. What if I just keep on going, feel the sunshine through the trees? Like the dog in his reflection, I know everything takes time. Back in the distance, someone else is searching now. You win some and you lose some, but I'll get there in the end. Oh, on we go, steady and slow, settle into the rhythm of my own 2 feet. Oh, this I know, let the wild ones blow. It might not be the fast way, but it's the way I know. It might not be the fast way, but it's the way I know. Well, it might not be the fast way, but it's the way I know.
She onward sped, sure shook my head, and I looked with a feeling prayer. Then I said I to a passerby who's a maid with the nut brown hair. Well, he smiled at me, and with pride says he, that's a gem of old Ireland's crown. She's young Rosie McCann, from the ranks of the band. She's the star of the county down. From Bank Street Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like sweet Callán that I met at the county down. Well, I've travelled a bit, but ne'er was hit since my roving career began. Then Fairgreen Square, I surrendered there to the charms of young Rosie McCann. I'd a heart to lad and no Jenny yet did I sing shawl or gown. But in she went, and I asked no rent from the star of the county down. Bank Street Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the sweet Callán that I met at the county down. At the harvest fair, I'll be surely there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right for a smile from another brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke and no horse I'll yoke, though with rust my plow turns brown, till a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bank Street Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the sweet Callán that I met at the county down. From Bank Street Bay up to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like the sweet Callán that I met at the county down.
After Eloise and Company was the Gothard sisters from their brand new album Moment in Time, that was Golden Secrets. Then came Elizabeth Sutherland with Evening Reflection from Forest Dreams, and we finish up the set with May Will Bloom. That's a brand new single, Star of the County Down, and May Will Bloom features my daughter Inara on vocals and me on auto harp. If you enjoy that music, I set up a blog for our group over on Patreon. You can follow the link in the show notes to check that out, see where we are performing together. Also, we did release an album pin, and are you familiar with album pins? Because just like this podcast, they are changing the way we hear Celtic music. There were several folks who showed up at the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast booth at Irish Fest Atlanta. Thank you so much for coming out. Several people were confused about the album pins that I talk about on this show, so I thought I'd share a few extra details. So an album pin is a lapel pin. Each pin is themed to a particular album we've released. You get a digital download of the album, and then you can wear your album. It's fashion and music combined as one. My pins are beautifully designed and wood burned locally. This makes them better for the environment. If you want to learn more about album pins, you can read about them on my kiltfather.substack.com or just buy one at magerecords.com. And I'm happy to say that May Will Bloom has an album pin that you can get as well. So if you want to support my daughter and myself, go check that out. I want your feedback. What are you doing today while listening to the podcast? You can send a written comment along with a picture of what you were doing while listening. Let me know if there's a Celtic band that you saw or a new Celtic CD that you found. Send a picture. Email it to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Jonas emailed, "Hi Mark, I hope this message finds you well. I've been hunting for a song for many years. I think I've heard it on your podcast sometime in the early 2000s. It's about starting a revolution and how it helps to be drunk to do so. I know this question might be wild and maybe my mind plays tricks on me and I've heard it somewhere entirely different, but on the small chance that I was on your podcast, could you point me to it? The year it was in the podcast. I would much appreciate it. Best regards from Germany." Thank you, Jonas. That does sound familiar, but I can't for the life of me think of what that would be. I wouldn't even know where to start. If anyone out there, if you've heard of that song, the idea of starting a revolution and how it helps to be drunk, so let me know and I will share that information right here on the podcast. You can also post that question in the chat on Patreon if you're over there. Michael McInerney emailed, "Mark, my dad's parents came from Éistigí. They were bakers. My great-great-aunt married a Blake, the old pub at the crossroads. My cousins ran it for many years and are pictured standing outside the pub on Enda Heron's YouTube video, Skies So Blue. My grandparents and great-uncle were also wine merchants and were involved in the McInerney Hotel that used to be in Lisdon Varna. The building is now a set of flats. My mom was born in Lisnaskea, Becken, County Mayo, close to the Knock Shrine. She said at night my grandfather would get the fiddle out and have the kids dance till they were tired, then off to bed. I've been to the old farm several times. My cousins live on it now. My dad was an opera buff, so John McCormick, both opera and Irish songs were played on the record player. My mom would listen to the Irish program on the radio every Saturday when we lived in Chicago, so I have followed Irish music since childhood. I found the podcast when I was searching for music to play when my late wife and I were waiting with my son and his wife in Philly as my late wife got chemo. Christy Moore is to be one of my favorite musicians, especially given the popularity of Lisdon Varna, Lunasa, Danu, obviously the Clancy brothers. My wife and I would go down to Dallas for the Irish Music Festival, which introduced us to many new bands. I listen to the show when I exercise in the morning and it gets me going. There are some Irish bands in North Oklahoma, but that's a bit of a drive for me. You do a great job keeping things new and entertaining. I like when sometimes the musicians talk about the history or meaning of the songs. Thank you so much, Michael, for sharing all that, your story behind how you got into Irish music, how you got to the podcast, and some of your favorite bands. That's fantastic. It's been a long time since I've been to the North Texas Irish Festival in Dallas also. So keep it going, though. I hope you're enjoying that each and every year. And yesterday I went to Thomas O'Reilly's Irish pub in Sandy Springs here in the Atlanta area. And there was an Irish session that was happening. And Sean of the band Caliceltic showed up. And I had a great chat with him about some of the history and meaning of some of his songs, but just on Celtic music in general. I'm looking forward to actually doing an actual interview with him in the weeks to come. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, next up is the Irish Rovers with Oh Dear Me from No End in Sight.
She was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again. Once I had an English girl from Liverpool, came she, so proper and so charming, sure she meant the world to me. But when she drank a gin or two, she had the roving eye for soldier boys or sailor lads or anyone forby. Oh dear me, I thought she was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again. Next I had a Scottish girl, she came frae Aberdeen. She was the funniest lassie boys that I had ever seen. We rolled around the heather and the wedding bells did ring, but she left me at the altar and went up on a Highland fling. Oh dear me, I thought she was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again.
But when me money was all spent, she went upon her way.
Oh dear me, I thought she was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again.
I have an Irish girl from Belfast town, she comes. She nags me and she plagues me and she has me neath her thumb. For 5 long years we're married though, it seems like 20 more. But still and all I'd miss her boys if she walked out the door.
Oh dear me, I thought she was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again. Oh dear me, I thought she was me darling, but she proved untrue, and she left without a warning. We swore we'd love forever, together to the end. But oh dear me, I will never love again.
magic of the road. But every once in a million miles, the land will call you home, and you long to settle down. You find a wandering gypsy town and cast aside the caravan, plant roots in the ground. In the California, your land green, rolling hills, the sea, the sand, and I wish that I was back again in my California island. Every gypsy knows the prison of a home. Every once in a million smiles, a heart gets to your soul, but your feet will start to burn for the open road you yearn. Baby, will you wait for me if someday I return to my California, your land green, rolling hills, the sea, the sand, and I wish that I was back again in my California island. And oh man,
Welcome all you jolly young fellows that wander by this way. If yous call in to have a glass, there is a reckoning you must pay. I'll supply you with a good friend, and your checks I'll join on core. And you'll see my Blackbird clocking on the hills of Mullaghmore. Well, it's for your loyal Blackbird, she's the best of the game, and her offspring are well proven in America, France and Spain, and their check has gained her credit upon many's the foreign shore. And now she's sitting clocking on the hills of Mullaghmore. Well, it's for your loyal Blackbird, they didn't use her well, and the hardships she has been through, there is no mortal man can tell. When her kids' door was opened, well, they rushed him in a score, and they put my bird from Durkin on the hills of Mullaghmore. Grieves the neighbours all, and I hope she'll have good fortune until on her we do call. She's going o'er yonder mountain for to rest in the fine still, and she'll spend the summer season at the foot of the sheep hill. Well, our Blackbird's coming home again, but not to the same place. And I hope your friends and neighbours will not bring her to disgrace, for the lovely Larkin in it and the rush will join on core. For to welcome home our Blackbird to the hills of Mullaghmore.
After the Irish Rovers came the McDades with November 8th from the Empress, then Celia Farran with California, Ireland from the Bard of Armagh, a tribute to Tommy Makem. Faoileán was after that with Far Hills of Canada from their album Far Hills. And we finished up the set with the Blackbird of Mullaghmore by Piskey led from their self-titled album. Thank you so much, patrons of the podcast. Your support makes the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast possible every single week of the year, or nearly everyone. You're not just funding a show, you're fueling a movement that shares the magic of Celtic music with thousands around the world. Your generosity covers everything from audio engineering and artwork to the Celtic Music Magazine, show promotion, and buying music from independent Celtic artists. If you're not yet a patron, you're missing out. You get early access to episodes, music-only editions, free MP3s, exclusive stories and interviews, and a vote in the Celtic Top 20. Join today and help keep Celtic music alive and vibrant. A special thanks to these Celtic legends: Sean Calley, Mike Schock, Kelly Garrett, John Sharkey White II, Linda McNeil, Gary R. Hook, Nancy Barnett, Miranda Nelson, Gerald F. Boyle, Jeff A., Dan McDade, Emma Bartholomew, Margaretta Silverstone, Alan Schindler, Marty Myers, Brian McReynolds, Daniel I., Bruce, Rick Boyce, and Dave and Rosie Donnelly. Thank you so much for your super generous support. These amazing folks pledge $25 per month to keep this show running. And I can't begin to tell you how much it means to me to keep this podcast going with your generous support. Here is your 3-step plan to support the podcast. Number 1, go to our Patreon page. Number 2, decide how much you want to pledge every month. $4, $12, $25, or you can become an underwriter for $100 per month. And we have one more spot for underwriting if you'd like to fill that right now. Number 3, keep listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast to celebrate Celtic culture through music. You can become a generous patron of the podcast on Patreon at songhinge.com. All right, let's get back to the music. Caliceltic is up next with Stumbling Distance from their album Paddy Paradise.
goodbye Muirsheen cooking. I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll take the crazies, no more I'll play the fool. Who shows my name is Carney, I'll be up for California. Instead of digging Brady's, I'll be digging lumps of gold. And it's goodbye Muirsheen cooking. I'm sick and tired of working. No more I'll take the crazies, no more I'll play the fool. Who shows my name is Carney, I'll be up for California. Instead of digging Brady's, I'll be digging lumps of gold.
I'm a fisherman's daughter. I know the danger and beauty of the ocean. Each wave holds a cure and a cruelty. They haul their boats on the land, but that never kept the man from dancing. Between lights, green and red, port and starboard. I'm a miner's daughter, and he moved a mountain for me, taught me to dig deeper, beyond and beneath what the eye could see. He'd say, balance your goals, turn your back to the cold and move forward. Between lights, green and red, port and starboard, port and starboard. When times change, the hands don't stop moving. He went back to the ocean just to keep us afloat. And down with the ship was the headline that broke me. So who am I now? I'm the fallen man's daughter, and you are the lighthouse I see from the darkness, caught between port and starboard. And those damn October winds call to young men and keep them between lights, green and red, port and starboard, port and starboard, port and starboard, port and
It's a long, long way to fall. Down here praying in the dark, I hope the Lord can hear my call. It's a long way to heaven, a long, long way to fall. From this mining camp in Eckley on the road from Donegal. Out on a rocky coastline, a steamer puts to sea, and thereupon three brothers stand to ride the cold hard sea. They go to seek their fortunes in the new home of the brave, singing once we reach the shores will not be poor, we will be saved. Well, they landed in New York and rolled the taverns up and down, and heard of great adventures just up north of Allentown. Council Ridge is paying grand to any man can work a spade, and once we reach the mines we'll not be poor, we will be saved. It's a long, long way to fall. Down here praying in the dark, I hope the Lord can hear my call. It's a long way to heaven, it's a long, long way to fall. From this mining camp in Eckley on the road from Donegal. Well, Georgie pushed the gold car while Jack lit up the path. Gerry followed close behind and watched for breaks and cracks. Every day the three drove deeper, their song filled every cave, singing once we reach the goal we'll not be poor, we will be saved. One morning thunder on the mountain and a violet up the sky. Fine rock and broken timber sent men running from the mine. 30 killed in the explosion will level up as many maimed. And the foreman said the three trapped down below could not be saved. It's a long, long way to fall. Down here praying in the dark, I hope the Lord can hear my call. It's a long way to heaven, a long, long way to fall. From this mining camp in Eckley on the road from Donegal. Tried to reach them, the hard earth would not be swayed. After many days of trying, the order came to seal the cave. From that time, for many years, on any day before the dawn, you're working in that mine and you stand still, you hear their song. It's a long, long way to fall. Down here praying in the dark, I hope the Lord can hear my call. It's a long way to heaven, a long, long way to fall. And this mining camp in Eckley on the road from Donegal. It's a long, long way to fall. Down here praying in the dark, I hope the Lord can hear my call. It's a long way to heaven, a long, long way to fall. From this mining camp in Eckley on the road from Donegal.
After Caliceltic came Larkin and Moran brothers with Muirsheen Durkin, then Derina Harvey band with The Fallen Man's Daughter from Waves of Home. We finish up the set with Road from Donegal, that was Callán from their EP Bloody Callán. I hope you had a wonderful time listening to this week's show. Next week is the final episode of the regular season of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. It is our Thanksgiving episode as well, where I give thanks for all of you for listening each and every week. If you enjoyed the music in this show, make sure you vote in the Celtic Top 20 for 2025. This is our way of finding the best songs and artists each year. You can vote for as many songs and tunes that inspire you in each episode. Your vote helps me create this year's Best Celtic Music of 2025 episode. You will have until 9 a.m. on December 5th to vote for this episode. So get those votes in as soon as possible, and I will talk to you again next week. We're going to finish up with Ashley Davis Band. This is Not Today, featuring Mick McAuley from her album When the Stars Went Out. Sláinte.
I've seen you, baby. Friends, they all tell me lately, maybe it's just best that way. They say you're back from overseas. I hear been asking for me. Still I can't even say your name. They tell me to let go of you, that you're gonna break my heart in two. Shut down how I feel and walk away. But not today, no, not today. Maybe no, maybe never, not today.
Well, it's true that I've been thinking of you. Yeah, I've been asking for you just so I can say your name. Been so long since I've seen you, baby. Friends, they all tell me lately, maybe it's just best that way. They tell me to let go of you, that you're gonna break my heart in two. Shut down how I feel and walk away. Foot down and walk the other way. Soon I will be moving on. Soon I'll sing a different song. Soon I'm gonna be that strong. But not today. No, not today. Maybe no, maybe never, not today.
Support for this program comes from international speaker Joseph Dumont, teaching the ancient roots of the Gaelic people. Learn more about their origins at sightedmoon.com. Support for this program comes from Cascadia Cross-Border Law Group, creating transparent borders for more than 25 years, serving Alaska and the world. Find out more at cascadialawalaska.com. Support for this program comes from Hank Woodward. Support for this program comes from Dr. Annie Lorkowski of Centennial Animal Hospital in Corona, California. The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast is produced by Mark Gundy Keltfather together, and our patrons on Patreon. The show is edited by Mitchell Peterson with graphics by Moran and Nelson Designs. Visit our website to follow the show. You'll find a link to all the artists played in this episode. Todd Wiley is the editor of the Celtic Music Magazine. Subscribe to get 34 Celtic MP3s for free. Plus, you'll get 7 weekly news items about what's happening with Celtic music and culture online. Best of all, you will connect with your Celtic heritage. Please tell one friend about this podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. Finally, remember, clean energy isn't just good for the planet, it's good for your wallet. Solar and wind are now the cheapest power sources in history, but too many politicians would rather protect billionaires than help working families save on their bills. Real change starts when we stop allowing the ultra-rich to write our energy policy and run our government. Let's choose affordable, renewable power. Clean energy means lower costs, more freedom, and a planet that can actually breathe. Promote Celtic culture through music at CelticMusicPodcast.com.